Class 12th subject Geography. Chapter is Population, Distribution, Density, Growth and Composition. The people are very important component of a country. India is the second most populous country after China in the world. Children, India's population is larger than the total population of North America, South America and Australia put together. More often, it is argued that such a large population invariably puts pressure on its limited resources and is also responsible for many socio-economic problems in the country. In this chapter, we will discuss the patterns of distribution, density, growth, and composition of India's population. Population of India in 2020 year. To find the population of India in the year 2020, the population of the last 5 years needs to check, and a clear picture can be obtained regarding the population in 2020. They are as per the following. You can see in the figure 2015 it's 1.31 billion and 2016 is 1.32 billion. 2017 the population was 1.3366 billion and in the year 2018 the population was 1.35352 billion and 2019 was 1.372224 billion. By going through the figures from the year 2015-19, it is noticed that there has been an increase of 0.062224 billion in the past 5 years. Additionally, every year the population goes up by 0.01244448 billion. Hence, the population of India in 2020 is expected to be 1.372224 billion plus 0.01744448 billion, which is equals to 1.384688 billion. Therefore, the population of India in the year 2020 as per estimates is 1.384688 billion. Distribution of population. India has a highly uneven pattern of spatial distribution of population. The percentage shares of population distribution of the states and union territories in the country shows that Uttar Pradesh has the highest population, followed by Maharashtra, Bihar and West Bengal. Children's spatial means relating to the position, area and size of things. Children Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Karnataka and Gujarat together count for about 76% of the total population of the country. On the other hand, share of population is very small in the states like Jammu and Kashmir, Arunachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. In spite of these states having fairly large geographical area. Such an uneven spatial distribution of population in India suggests a close relationship between population and physical, socio-economic and historical factors. As far as the physical factors are concerned, it is clear that climate along with the terrain and availability of water largely determines the pattern of the population distribution. Consequently, we observe that the North Indian plains, deltas and coastal plains have higher proportion of population than the interior districts of southern and central states. Himalayas, some of the northern, eastern and the western states. It is observed that the regions falling in the river plains and the coastal areas of the India have remained the regions of larger populations concentration. Even though the uses of natural resources like land and water in these regions have shown the signs of degradation, the concentration of the population remains high because of an early history of human settlement and development of transport network. Children, on the other hand, the urban regions of Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bengaluru, Pune Ahmedabad, Chennai, and Jaipur have high concentration of population due to industrial development and urbanization, drawing a large numbers of rural urban migrants. In the given figure, you can see the map of coastal plains of India and population in these states. However, development of irrigation, that is in Rajasthan, availability of mineral and energy resources, Jharkhand, and development of transport network, peninsular states have resulted in moderate to high concentration of population in areas which were previously very thinly populated. In the given figure, you can see the states of peninsular region. And there are minor plateaus in the peninsular regions are Marwar Plateau or Mewar Plateau, Central Highland, Bundelkhand Upland, Malwa Plateau, Baghelkhand, Chota Nagpur Plateau, Meghalaya Plateau. These are known as peninsular region. Density of population. Density of population is expressed as number of persons per unit area. Children, it helps in getting a better understanding of the spatial distribution of population in relation to land. The density of population is a crude measure of human and land relationship. To get a better insight into the human-land ratio in the terms of pressure of population on total cultivable land, the physiological and the agriculture densities should be found out which are significant for a country like India, having a large agriculture population. Density of population is calculated as physiological density is equals to total population or net cultivated area. Agriculture density is equals to total agriculture population net cultivable area, and agriculture population includes cultivators and agricultural laborers and their family members. Growth of population. Growth of population is the change in the number of people living in a particular area between 2 points of time. Its rate is expressed in percentage. Population growth has two components, namely natural and induced, while the natural growth is analyzed by assessing the crude birth and death rates. The induced components are explained by the volume of inward and outward movements of people in any given area. However, in the present chapter, we will only discuss the natural growth of India's population. In the given figure, you can see the table of decadal growth rates in India. In the first column, you can see census years, and second column is total population, and the third is growth rate, and under growth rate is absolute number and percent of growth. This table tells us the information of population since 1901 to the year 2011. Four phases of population growth since 1901 to 2011. Phase 1, the period from 1901 to 1921, is referred to as period of stagnant or stationary phase of growth of India's population. Since in this period growth rate was very low, even recording a negative growth rate during 1911 to 1921. Phase 2, the decades 1921-1951, are referred to as the period of steady population growth and overall improvement in health and sanitation throughout the country brought down the mortality rate. At same time, better transport and communication system improved distribution system. The crude birth rate remained high in this period, leading to higher growth rate than the previous phase. Phase 3, the decades 1951 to 1981, are referred to as the period of population explosion in India, which was caused by a rapid fall in the mortality rate but high fertility rate of population in the country. Phase 4, in the post 1981 till present, the growth rate of country's population, though remained high, has started slowing down gradually. A downward trend of crude birth rate is held responsible for such a growth. This was in turn affected by an increase in the mean age at marriage, improved quality of life, particularly education of females in the country. Regional variation in population growth. The growth rate of population during 1991 to 2001 in India states and union territories show very obvious pattern. A continuous belt of states from west to east in the northwest and north central parts of the country has relatively high growth rate than the southern states. During 2001-2011, the growth rate of almost all states and union territories have registered a lower figure compared to the previous decade, that is 1991 to 2001. In this belt comprising Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh, Sikkim, Assam, West Bengal, Bihar, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, the growth rate on an average remained 20 to 25%. And the states like Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Puducherry and Goa shows a low rate of growth not exceeding 20% over the decade. Kerala registered the lowest growth rate, that is 9.4, not only in this group of states but also in the country as a whole. Children, an important aspect of population growth in India, is the growth of its adolescents. At present, the share of adolescents, that is up to the age of 10 to 9 years, is about 20.9% of the year 2011, among which male adolescents constitute 52.7% and female adolescents constitute 47.3%. Children, the adolescent population, though regarded as the youthful population having high potentials, but at the same time they are quite vulnerable if not guided and channelized properly. There are many challenges for the society as far as these adolescents are concerned, some of which are lower age at marriage, illiteracy, particularly female illiteracy, school dropouts, low intake of nutrition, high rate of marital mortality of adolescents' mother, high rate of HIV and AIDS infection, physical and mental disability or retardedness, drug abuse and alcoholism, and committance of crimes, etc. In view of these, the Government of India has undertaken certain policies to impart proper education to the adolescents group so that their talents are better channelized and properly utilized. National Youth Policy 2014 to enable India's youth to realize their dreams. A product workforce through education, skill training and entrepreneurship. Sports as a way of life and a healthy generation. Strong social value and a sense of community service. Increased participation in governance. Social inclusiveness by creating equitable opportunity for all. Launch of Skill India campaign. Formal launch of National Skill Development Mission, unveiling of the new National Policy for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship 2015, roll of out Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, Skill India, Kaushal Bharat, Kushal Bharat. Population composition. Population composition is a distinct field of study within population geography with a vast coverage of analysis of age and sex, place of residence, ethnic characteristics, tribes, languages, religion, marital status, literacy and education, occupational characteristics, etc. In this section, the composition of Indian population with respect to their rural, urban characteristics, languages, religion and pattern of occupation will be discussed. Rural-urban composition. Composition of population by the respective places of residence is an important indicator of social and economic characteristics. This becomes even more significant for a country where about 68.8% of its total population lives in village. India has 6,40,867 villages according to the census 2011, out of which 5,97,608, that is 93.2%, are inhabited villages. However, the distribution of the rural population is not uniform throughout the country. Children, you have noted that the contrary to the rural population, the proportion of urban population, that is 31.2% of India, is quite low, but it is showing a much faster rate of growth over the decades. The growth rate of urban population has accelerated due to the enhanced economic development and improvement in health and hygienic conditions. The distribution of urban population too, as in the case of total population, has a wide variation throughout the country. Linguistic composition. India is a land of linguistic diversity. According to Linguistic Survey of India 1903 to 1928, there were 179 languages and as many as 544 dialects in the country. In the context of modern India, there are about 22 scheduled languages and a number of non-scheduled languages. Linguistic diversity. 1652 languages are there, but Constitution recognized 22 major languages. Indo-Aryan family, North and Western India, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Punjabi, Sindhi. Dravidian family, Southern India, Kannada, Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu. Sino-Tibetan, North Bihar, North Bengal and North Assam. Sikkimese, Ladakhi, Sherpa, Bodo, Manipuri, Tipra. Asastrek, Munda or Kol group, Central, Eastern and Northern Eastern India, Karshi, Nicobarese, Santhali, Mundari. Linguistic classification. The speakers of major Indian languages belong to four languages families which have their subfamilies and branches or groups. Religious composition. Religious is one of the most dominant forces affecting the cultural and political life of the majority of Indians. Since religion virtually permeates into almost all the aspects of people's family and community lives, it is important to study the religious composition in detail. Children, here is the religious composition in the tabular form. So this is a classification of modern Indian languages. Under family comes Agastric Nishada, that is 1.38%. Under subfamily is Austroasiatic. Branch is Mon, Khmer, Munda, and speeches area is Meghalaya, Nicobar Islands, and Munda is West Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, Assam, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and outside India. And under family is Dravidian, that is Dravida, 20%, and under branch is South Dravidian, Central Dravidian, North Dravidian. Under South Dravidian, speech areas are Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, and Central Dravidian is Andhra Pradesh, MP, Orissa, Maharashtra, and North Dravidian speech areas are Bihar, Orissa, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh. Under family is Sino-Tibetan, that is Kirata, it's 0.85%, and subfamily is Tibeto-Myanmari and Siamese Chinese. Under branch group is Tibeto-Himalayan, North Assam, Assam, Myanmari. And under speech areas, Tibeto-Himalayan are Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, and North Assam speech areas are Arunachal Pradesh, and Assam Myanmari speech areas are Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Meghalaya. And the last is Indo-European, that is Aryan, 73%, and subfamily is Indo-Aryan, and branch or a group is Iranian, Dardic, Indo-Aryan, and Iranian are outside India. Dardic is Jammu and Kashmir, Indo-Aryan are Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, UP, Rajasthan, Haryana, MP, Bihar, Orissa, West Bengal, Assam, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa. The special distribution of religious communities in the country shows that there are certain states and districts having large numerical strength of one religion, while the same may be very negligibly represented in other states. Children, you can see the Census Report 2011 religious profile in the given figure. Hindus are distributed as a major group in the many states, ranging from 70 to 90% and above, except the districts of states along Indo-Bangladesh border, Indo-Pak border, Jammu and Kashmir, hill station of northeast, and in scattered areas of Deccan Plateau and Ganga Plain. Muslims, the largest religious minorities, are concentrated in Jammu and Kashmir, certain districts of West Bengal and Kerala, many districts of Uttar Pradesh in and around Delhi, and in Lakshadweep. They form majority in Kashmir Valley and Lakshadweep. The Christian population is distributed mostly in rural areas of the country. The main concentration is observed along the western coast around Goa, Kerala, and also in the hill states of Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Chota Nagpur area and hills of Manipur. And Sikhs are mostly concentrated in relatively small area of the country, particularly in the states of Punjab, Haryana and Delhi. Jains and Buddhists, the smallest religious group in India, have their concentration only in the selected areas of the country. Jains have major concentration in the urban areas of Rajasthan, Gujarat and Maharashtra, while the Buddhists are concentrated mostly in Maharashtra. The other areas of Buddhist majority are Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Ladakh in Jammu and Kashmir, Tripura and Lahaul and Spiti in Himachal Pradesh. The other religions of India include Zoroastrians, tribal and other indigenous faiths and beliefs. These groups are concentrated in small pockets scattered throughout the country. In the given figure, you can see the image of 2011 Indian census figures on religions, and ranking of Indian states by population is Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, Karnataka, and the last is Gujarat. Composition of working population. The population of India, according to their economic status, is divided into three groups, namely main workers, marginal workers and non-workers. It is observed that in India, the proportion of workers, both mean and marginal, is only 39.8% according to 2011 report, leaving a vast majority of about 60% as non-workers. This indicates an economic status in which there is a larger proportion of dependent population, further indicating possible existence of large number of unemployed or underemployed people. In the given figure, you can see the image of the table population in millions, total workers in millions, and percentage of marginal workers of male and female persons from the year 1981 to 2011. This report is a combined of rural and urban areas. Marginal workers are those who work or are employed for less than 6 months in a year. In the given figure is the image of workers and work participation rate in persons, India, and the column is indicator workers and the year is 2001, 2012 and work participation rate 2001 and 2011. Under indicator is total population, total under the year 2001 is 40 crores 22 lakhs 34,724 and under 2011 is 48 crores 17 lakhs 43,311 and the percentage is 39.1 and 2011 is 39.8 and the rural is 30 crores 98 lakhs 35,681 and the year 2011 is 34 crores 85 lakhs 97,535 and the participation rate under 2001 is 41.7 and 2011 is 41.8, and urban is under 2001 9 crore 23 lakhs 99,000 and 43, and under 2011 is 13 crores 31 lakhs 45,776, and the work participation rate under 2001 is 32.3 and 2011 is 35.3. Scheduled caste total is 6 crore 73 lakhs 32,884, and under 2011 was 8 crores 23 lakhs 4,605, and total participation rate in 2001 was 40.4 and 2011 40.9, and the rural was 5 crore 65 lakhs 26,950, 2011 6 crores 52 lakhs 27,547, and participation rate under 2001 was 42.5 and 2011 was 42.4. And next is urban. Workers 2001 was 1 crore 8 lakhs 5,934, and 2011 was 1 crore 70 lakhs 77,058, and the work participation rate under 2001 was 32.1 and 2011 was 35.9. The next is scheduled tribes, and the total was 4 crores 13 lakhs 69,321, and 2011 was 5 crores 7 lakhs 97,850, and total work participation rate under 2001 was 49.1 and 2011 was 48.7. Rural under year 2001 was 3 crores 89 lakhs 54,045, and under 2011 was 4 crores 69 lakhs 8,032, and the work participation rate under 2001 was 50.4 and 2011 was 50.0. Next is urban of scheduled tribes under year 2001 workers 24 lakhs 15,276, and under 2011 38 lakhs 89,818, and work participation rate under 2001 was 34.6 and 2011 was 37.2. The occupational composition of India's population, which actually means engagement of an individual in farming, manufacturing, trade, services, or any kind of professional activities, show a large proportion of primary sector workers compared to the secondary and tertiary sectors. About 54.6% of total working populations are cultivators and agriculture laborers, whereas only 3.8% of workers are engaged in household industries and 41.6% are other workers including non-household industries, trade, commerce, construction and repair and other services. As far as the occupation of country's male and female population is concerned, male workers outnumber female workers in all the three sectors. Promoting gender sensitivity through Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao social campaign, the division of the society into male, female and transgender is believed to be natural and biological, but in reality there are social construction and roles assigned to the individual which are reinforced by social institutions. Consequently, these biological differences becomes the basis of social differentiations, discriminations and exclusions. The exclusion of over half of the population becomes a serious handicap to any developing and civilized society. It is a global challenge which has been acknowledged by the UNDP when it mentions that if development is not engendered, it is endangered. That is HDR UNDP in 1995. Discrimination in general and gender discrimination in particular is a crime against humanity. All efforts need to be made to address the denial of opportunities of education, employment, political representation, low wages for similar types of work, disregard to their entitlement to live a dignified life, etc. A society which fails to acknowledge and take effective measures to remove such discriminations cannot be treated as a civilized one. The Government of India has duly acknowledged the adverse impacts of these discriminations and launched a national wide campaign called Beti Bachao Beti Padhao.